Two tales of privilege here on the No State Project show today. And it's just a very old tale. Very old, privileged people getting away, sometimes with murder. Now, the first story involves wage theft, which is very, very, very common. I think it's as common as the second story where we're talking about government goons getting away with their crimes. And I'll get to that. This actually is happening here in Arizona. Arizona delivery drivers to receive $5.6 million in back pay and damages in auto parts case. So nearly 1,400 Arizona delivery drivers will share in a $5.6 million judgment from auto parts distributor and a logistics firm that jointly misclassified them as independent contractors rather than employees. Oh, it was a simple classification error. That's right. $5.6 million in wage theft. It was just an oversight. Parts Authority Arizona LLC, along with joint employer Arizona Logistics Incorporated, operating as Diligent Delivery Systems, were ordered to pay $2.8 million in back wages and $2.8 million in damages to the 1,398 workers, according to a consent judgment obtained by the U.S. Department of Labor in federal court. The consent judgment issued in November and announced January 12th also orders Parts Authority, along with Diligent Delivery Systems and the latter's owner and CEO, Larry Browne, this guy, to pay $150,000 in penalties. Payments to workers began late last year and will continue in installments until October 2025. The action comes after the Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division found that by misclassifying employees, the joint employers failed to meet the minimum wage requirements, paid straight time rates for all hours worked, failed to keep required timekeeping records, and failed to pay wages at time and a half when drivers worked more than 40 hours in a week. Wow. The companies also made the drivers use their personal vehicle for deliveries without compensation. While most of the affected employees will receive a few hundred or a few $1,000s each, depending partly on how long they worked, 16 will receive more than $50,000 each. And not a single person, not the owner, not the management, not those who are responsible for stealing over $1 million from employees, the ones who actually are doing the work. Not this guy. CEOs don't work. And evidence that CEOs are at least a part-time call-in job is you look at someone like Elon Musk, who is CEO of 3 companies. So this guy, Larry Browne, responsible for wage theft in the millions of dollars, not a single day in jail. No arrest, nothing. Got it, just going to get away with it because that's where the privilege is. The privilege is worldwide is with money. And I even wrote in Government Indicted, governments primarily started by the rich to benefit the rich so they can hold on to their money. Another one of the privileged class, though not as much money as Larry Browne, when you're exploiting people, are the tools of the rich. And those are the government goons. Which brings me to the second tale of privilege here. See, if you are one of the king's men, the king working on behalf of people like Larry Browne, the mega rich, people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, you get certain privileges too. You get to commit crimes also with impunity. So here, a NYPD captain, that's the New York Police Department, one of the biggest standing armies in the world, NYPD captain forced out after collecting about $60,000 for hours he never worked. Wow. An NYPD captain has been forced out of the job after investigators determined he was paid for more than 400 hours, about $60,000, that he never worked. Police sources told the Daily News. The now former cop, Jackson Cheng, would not comment. Smart thing to do. I gotta give him props for that. Keep your mouth shut. But a source familiar with the case said the 19-year veteran admitted to the charges against him to avoid getting fired and was allowed to retire with his partial pension. Like Larry Browne, who stole millions from people. And Larry Browne didn't act alone. There was the management too. I get it. None of them ever going to see the inside of a jail. But if one of those workers dared, if they had committed time card fraud, they go to jail. That's for sure. So here we've got one of the king's men, Jackson Cheng, defrauded the government out of $60,000, which is actually the people of New York. $60,000, not a day in jail, no indictment, no arrest, no perp walk. He walks. He is not only walking, he wasn't fired, and he's allowed to retire with his partial pension. So after a 19-year career of pillaging and plundering, which is what the police do with their stop and frisk and whatnot, this criminal gets to retire on somebody else's dime. These are the real problem. It's the people with money and the people with privilege that can commit crimes with impunity and get away with it. A good example, of course, always bring out the old standards, George W. Bush war criminal, Dick Cheney, Condoleezza Rice, Donald Rumsfeld. These people are able to retire with all their riches, regardless of the countless lives that they have destroyed. Dick Cheney shot a man in the face and didn't spend a single hour in jail. Shot a man in the face. That money and privilege. Money gives you privilege, whether you're in or out of government. And government is just a tool of the mega rich anyway, has always been that way and always will be that way. These are just two examples of privilege right in your face where nothing is going to be done about it. But if you and I so much as have a joint in the wrong place, you're going to do time. Still, $60,000, Go even better and steal millions of dollars, $2.8 million. Steal $2.8 million. No investigation by the police. No indictment, nothing. Yeah, I just walk away. Just walk away. So that's going to do it for this particular video. If you know of any other stories like these where privilege has been rewarded, where people that are rich or government employees commit atrocious crimes and get away with it scot-free, let me know in the comments and I will report on that. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you want to help support the channel so I can do more videos more frequently and hopefully soon a live stream at least once a week, you can do so in the comments. You can also get one of these awesome Anarchy t-shirts in the description. Again, thanks for watching.